Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode. So today's video I think is very important, especially for those who are new to this cryptocurrency space. Centralized exchanges are oftentimes the gateway that many people are introduced to this cryptocurrency space. It is their first introduction, the main way that they interact with cryptocurrencies. So I think it's very important for everyone to understand the ways that they're making themselves vulnerable, so then you can make an educated decision on if it's worth it to use these types of exchanges. So that's what we're covering today. So let's get into it. So as I mentioned in the introduction today, centralized exchanges are definitely becoming a necessary evil, especially for those who are new to the cryptocurrency space. Centralized exchanges are often the way that people purchase their first cryptocurrency or interact with different cryptocurrencies and wallets and things like that. Unfortunately, until decentralized exchanges, real decentralized exchanges, get the kind of recognition and subsequent user increase, traffic increase, centralized exchanges will continue to play a big role in people interacting with this cryptocurrency space. So here's the hint. When you use a centralized exchange, you will be sacrificing yourself in three ways. You'll be sacrificing the security of your investments. You will be sacrificing the security and privacy of your private sensitive information. And lastly, you will be paying some kind of sacrifice in the form of fees for making transfers, for withdrawing off of centralized exchanges. So firstly, what you have to realize is that when you purchase cryptocurrencies from an exchange, or when you deposit your coins onto an exchange, those coins are still very much still under the control of that exchange. Even though you may have bought them and you think you have rights to them, that exchange is still the one that decides where the coins go, how they are secured. Now, what that exchange actually does with the coins, unfortunately, might not always be truthfully represented on your balances on your account for that exchange. For example, there have been many instances of users across a whole bunch of different exchanges who have seen issues trying to withdraw their coins from that exchange, maybe because those coins are tied up in something else, maybe because the exchange isn't ready to give them out yet. There's been multiple accounts where CEOs have taken the coins being deposited onto their exchange, taken those coins, moved them to a different exchange, traded them to make a profit, and then brought them back onto their exchange. All the while, your balance has not changed on your account there. And even worse, there have been many instances where exchanges have gone down, have gone out of business due to a big hack and a big loss of funds. And ultimately, after something like that happens, an audit oftentimes will occur. And sadly, what can be found there is that the funds that were stolen, but actually a lot more was actually missing because of mismanagement of funds. Like I said before, with CEOs, trading the coins elsewhere, spending it, and just arbitrarily saying that your balance is still there. Yes, your account might still say that your balance is, accurate, and you might still be able to trade that coin for other coins on that exchange, but please remember that your coins are never truly yours until you take them off of that exchange and secure them onto your own wallet, of which you have complete control. There is a popular saying in this space that rings true that everyone should take the time to understand, and that is the fact that not your keys, not your coins, and the keys they are in particularly talking about there is your private keys. It has to do with encryption, with private keys and public keys. But if you don't know what a private key is, if you've never had to write down any kind of a mnemonic phrase or password or a long alphanumeric code, most likely you are not in complete control over your coins. They're being stored on an exchange. you're essentially giving your coins to that exchange and having to trust them to give them back to you when you want to withdraw them. It's a lot like a bank. Unfortunately, a lot of centralized exchanges do function like a bank in that they practice fractional reserve banking, where the amount that is deposited isn't necessarily still staying in that account, and it is being used elsewhere to make more money. That's a sad state of affairs, but that is unfortunately what happens with a lot of centralized exchanges. If you're interested in learning more about your different wallet options, which ones are secure, which ones will work best for you with the ways that you want to go about transferring, securing, storing your cryptocurrencies, I have made a very helpful couple of videos that go over things like that. So you can find links to those down below in the video description. I highly recommend that you check those out, especially if you are new to this cryptocurrency space. I think you'll quickly learn that the security of your cryptocurrency investments rests solely on your shoulders, as it should be. It is your investment. No one cares more about your money more than you, and so you should treat it that way. So I definitely encourage you to check out that video. In the meantime, next week I will be putting out a video on a setup guide for the new Ledger Nano X. So also I will be in that guide, I will be also including a lot of other helpful tips just for understanding hardware wallets in general. So don't miss that one if you're interested in learning more about hardware wallets and the Ledger Nano X. Now, moving on to the second sacrifice that you'll be making with centralized exchanges is your information. So back in the day, like 5 years ago, you used to be able to open a Coinbase account using nothing more than just an email address. But now, for those of you who maybe recently opened up an account there, or you might find pretty much on any centralized exchange, in order to create an account, in order to withdraw your funds, you will need to provide your full name, a phone number, an address, a photocopy of your government-issued ID. Some even go as far as to demand your source of funds, where your money is coming from, how you earn your money, what your career choice is, even maybe what you choose, what you plan to do with the cryptocurrencies once you obtain them. So quite a bit more invasive these days, and keep in mind that that information is very identifying, obviously, very sensitive and very valuable for you. Also, it's very valuable for hackers, and of course, they make money off of stealing the cryptocurrencies from exchanges. They also make money from stealing people's information that these exchanges are storing. We saw that with Binance earlier this year. They lost a whole bunch of people's sensitive information. And they can go ahead and turn around and sell that information on the black market. And there you go, you have a bona fide ID theft situation, in the making. So I'm just encouraging you to think twice before you fork over your personal information in order to use a centralized exchange. Again, there are decentralized exchange options. I have done a great number of videos that cover a bunch of different of these exchanges, what they do, what is required. I probably do for an update for these, but in the meantime, I will be providing links again down below in the video description, so then you guys can discover your decentralized exchange options and those that don't require you to give up your very personal, sensitive information. So the reason centralized exchanges are so popular, and the reason why I actually need to make this video, is because they have the ease of use, they have the speed that comes from quick trades, they have advantageous trading pairs, so you can trade many different cryptocurrencies quickly and easily. Now, they know that they have those benefits, and they know that people are willing to pay for those benefits. And so some exchanges hike up that premium fee. Now, fees can come in the form of making trades or taking trades or withdrawing your coins from the exchange. I'm not sure that they charge you to deposit them, but if they do, I would be super skeptical to use that exchange. Again, Coinbase has been on the news lately because they decided to seriously jack up their fees for the people who fall into the retail investor, retail trader category. Like if you're not moving more than $50,000 in a trade, you're going to be experiencing a far higher fee compared to those who have a lot more deeper pockets. They're going to be getting a little bit of a break. So centralized exchanges are going to cost you in a couple different ways, and it's ultimately up to you to decide if those costs are worth it. And luckily for you and this cryptocurrency space, there is competition. At this point, decentralized exchanges aren't quite giving centralized exchanges, in my opinion, the type of competition that they need. And the centralized exchanges, therefore, are getting away with a lot of different crazy things like that they're demanding of you. They're demanding you to, pay to use their services, while at the same time, they are not necessarily securing your investments in the best way, your personal information in the best way. So again, I encourage you guys, as always, to check out decentralized exchanges. For those of you who are new to this space, I want to encourage you to continue learning, continue exploring different ways, different platforms that you can use to interact with cryptocurrencies. It's not all bad, but it's certainly worth to be aware of. So that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Leave your comment down below. Hit subscribe if you haven't already so you can get more helpful videos like this. In the meantime, I will be seeing you guys soon. So until then, have a good one.